Welcome to the Cowabunga Carl experience. This is your host, Cowabunga Carl. And for the first entry into my toy reviews, I am reviewing the deluxe set of Savage He-man. This is the first Masterverse figure that I have dived into. Revelation came out, what was it, last year. I put off getting into this line just due to having so much in my collection already. However, after seeing all the fantastic figures that have been coming out in it, I decided to jump in. This was the first one I picked up, or received, I should say, in trade. It comes with, obviously, Savage He-man and Orko. This is the only way to get Orko at this point in this line. He is the reason that I wanted this set. Not such a huge Savage He-man. The figure will probably stay in the box. I do like the head sculpt though. Like I said, so this is the front of the box. Due to where I have to have my camera, I won't be able to show the sides, but they have some nice artwork on the one. This is the back of the box. Savage He-man was introduced, and I'll leave it here so you can read the side of the box for a moment if you'd like. Okay, so Revelation introduced Savage He-man. The whole idea was Adam calls on the power of Grayskull without the sword to channel it, and it turns him into like this savage instead of being able to harness the power. With that being said, let's get the figure out of the box and actually look at what the box contains. Okay, so here's the set out of the box. So let's take a look at He-man first. He-man, as you can see, there's the face sculpt. It's a nice sculpt. They gave him the long hair to signify, I guess, that he's savage. Blonde plastic or yellow plastic with a black wash in it to kind of give it a dirty look. The black wash over the whole figure, kind of, I guess, trying to make him look dirty. I kind of dig it. I do like the figure as a whole. He doesn't have boots because, apparently savages don't wear boots. It's a good figure. It's a good representation of what Savage He-man was in Revelation. Just not something I personally would put out in display. I switched his hand out to a holding hand just so I can show the accessories he comes with and him holding them, or at least one of them. He does come with a power sword. In the cartoon, he did not have the sword. It has this nice chrome coloring to it, a bronze handle, which is, I think this is probably one of the nicer power swords I've seen in the line. He comes with this huge axe, which probably will be my main axe for any He-man figure I use. Just because I like the color of the handle, the bronze color again, the silver of the axe, and just how in relative, like, let's put it in his hand if we can. Give me one sec. Okay, I'm having just an issue getting it in his hand. There we go. Just how huge that axe is that he's holding. Like, it is a wonderful sized axe. Now, if I can get him to stand up again. And like I said, in relative size to him, like, He-man should have a huge axe. Like, the axes that I've seen him with, I feel like too puny. Like, this axe feels like a He-man axe. And then, of course, he comes with the spear, which tends to, signify being a savage when it comes to toy lines. And honestly, the spear fits more with the image of him. And I mean, if I was to display this one, that's how I would use it. I have a few ideas of what I plan to do to customize this figure to be something that I would display when I get there. And if I get there, of course, I will show you guys. This is the hand he comes packaged with. He comes packaged with the 2 open hands attached, and then he has 2 additional hands, which are the hands that can hold the weapons. They just pop out. You can pop the new ones in, and that's great for He-Man. Like I said, solid figure. Like articulation wise, like they gave him the double jointed elbow, the wrist swivel, wrist tilt, bicep swivel, shoulders on like a swivel and a joint. So I mean, you got wonderful articulation and posability options there. His head is on a ball joint, but his hair, the length of his hair, limits what can be done. Like, that's just the way that is with that. Torso, he has waist, and this one, at least mine, doesn't have a lot of, I mean, it looks like it's made to pivot there, but mine's super tight, and I don't want to break it. Legs, I mean, they're on a ball joint. Loincloth, though, is going to give you a limit of what that can do. He has a thigh swivel, double. If you look at the back here, it's a double jointed knee. He has the thigh, ankle, tilt, and all that. The box says 30 points of articulation. I mean, you can get some good poses out of there, especially if you have figure stands, just to help him stand. But I feel like he's going to have good, that they have good posability. Now, like I said before I unboxed him, I got this set for this little guy, Orko. Orko, it has not been released as a basic figure by himself. He only comes with the Savage He-man. And it's the later Orko from the series, where he doesn't have the sleeves. He's a little emancipated, a little scrawny. I can't think of the word I want to say. A little scrawny due to the magic being gone in the world. So there is that. I love what they did with his face. They painted this as a little black ball with the eyes, because we've never seen Orko's face. In Trala, it's you don't show your face except to your husband or wife. So that's awesome. They give him a little scarf to help cover his face, the hat to make it look like his face is in shadow. His ears are sticking out. Like the paint apps, like they even painted the dongle on his hat. They give that little yellow stripe. I mean, it's a wonderfully, wonderfully sculpted figure. His robe, as you can see, has texture on it. Like, this is, to me, the highlight of this pack. They do have this clear plastic stand that I don't think he comes off of. I tried. He seems pretty stuck on it. But that's to give him that, floating look. And I dig it. It helps him stay off, he's not just sitting on his robe. It is clear. Mine's super loose in this joint right here. So, I mean, there is that on mine. So that joint, like I said, super loose on mine. But overall, he stands fairly well. His articulation, his shoulders move. Hinge and ball. So, I mean, but the scarf hinders kind of where his arms can go, what they can do. Not a lot of posability on him, but that's fine. Orko shouldn't, I don't feel like he needs to be a super posable figure. I feel like Orko is kind of one of those ones that having him like that is perfectly fine. So this is a deluxe figure, sells for a deluxe point. I've seen it on clearance because, like I said, I am so late coming to this line. Target has it on clearance at mine for like $9. But if you haven't picked this figure up, or you're debating on getting into the Masterverse line, like I was, do yourself a favor, pick up these figures. They are an amazing update to the classic He-Man figures. I'll be diving into some other figures in other videos that are updated versions of the characters, and I can't believe I slept on this line. Anyway, like I said, highly recommend this line. He-Man, I mean, he's a good figure, don't get me wrong, just not a figure that I personally would display until I do some modifications to him. And once I get that taken care of, I'll show what I did. I'll probably use his head. I like the head. The head's my favorite part of that figure. So I might figure swap the head. The head, he doesn't come with an extra head, but like I said, it's on a ball joint. They pop off super easily. And if you're a fan of the old He-Man toys from back in the day, you know you could pop their arms off and switch them around on characters. But this head sculpt, I love it. And I'll probably use this somewhere else. Anyway, love this set. Think it's a great set, especially if you can find it on clearance. I probably wouldn't have paid full retail. I traded a Transformer for this set. And for me, it was well worth it. Anyway, this has been Cowabunga Carl, my first video on this channel. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and subscribe to see further content coming from me in reviews of the Masterverse figures. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Bye.